actually quite timely. And I would say it probably is about perhaps 15 years. We could have produced this report 15 years earlier. And unlike Mr. Farley's documents, the regimes that we've been leading, for me, began about 34 days after we took office for all the new young rookie councillors. Just 34 days after we took office, we had a tragic fire on Yonge Street, which was a 6-alarm fire. And that was the destruction of the Milani Hotel, where I stood back with the downtown young BIA members and said, what are we going to do about this? And taking a look at what was happening along Yonge Street, that white area on the map that Mr. Farley had highlighted, it didn't really have any clear representation. We started in a small, very modest study, the Ken Greenberg, Marion McKenna study, and from there was a catalyst for more dialogue. And I think what we have before us, and I'll wrap up my remarks very quickly, is a document that not only gives us, I think, some guiding principles. How do we evaluate and make sure that we can put applications against these standards as performance guidelines? It gives us much greater clarity and surety on how we build a vibrant downtown community. Because Yonge Street, as you know, is one of the most iconic streets in Toronto, one of the most recognizable streets in the city, if not the country, but also a street that could use a little bit of assistance. So with the 26 applications that we have on the spine of Yonge Street alone, I'm very pleased that this document is before us. And I would be remiss if I didn't conclude my remarks without singling out Al Rosowski, Sarah Henstock, James Parak, Greg Lintern, Mary McDonald for helping us put together the document, write the document. And if you take the time to read it, that would be wonderful. If you don't have the time to read it, just taking a look at the images, what you'll see before you is a very vibrant downtown with very textured fabric and different built form and uses. And there is a little bit of something for everyone in the core. And of course, finally, the residents who have been so amazing to work with. They have come forward not just with the no opposition that sometimes we hear. They have come forward with very constructive suggestions, very constructive remarks. And the BCCA, which is the Bay Wilbur Hill Community Association, the Church Wellesley Neighborhood Association, they have become, in many ways, amateur planners without the degrees, but professional planners with the way they've treated the process that they have participated in. The BIAs and of course the Bloor East Neighborhood Association, although it was not contained in this report in the catchment area study, they have been very active participating because they know that this is a document that they probably would need in their neighborhoods as well. I forgot to move my motion, so here it is before you folks. And the motion is really to it's a very simple amendment, but we would like to start improving our neighborhood as quickly as possible, exploring the opportunities where there are perhaps some unimproved boulevard locations. It's already dealt with in the report, but I thought we would start this adoption of this report with an action. So we asked for the final report to accommodate that. And the Great Yonge Street really, at the end of the day, is about retail. And there's been all sorts of discussions of how to ensure that we don't have monolithic big box retailers on Yonge Street. This is something that we know is a real fight for us. And I think that studying the rhythm and the pattern of the street will also mean that we have to make sure that retail is going to be consistent, where we foster small to medium-sized businesses. And a final thank you to Nazim Adab, who was one of our new planners, and she's actually the one who did a bulk of the writing and the layout design. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Longchamp. So you are moving that? Okay. All those in favor of that? Not all the great things that were said. Those in favor, opposed, that is carried. Thank you.
This is 2 years of work.
Yes, well done.